Today I'm going to share 5 specific habits that used to keep me stuck as a CEO. And then once I actually removed them, it allowed me to do recently $1 million in a day with one of our brands. Now, these are the exact same habits that I see holding back almost every CEO and founder that I now coach. Because after doing $300 million in sales, I've kind of noticed that something that no one really talks about. And this is the difference between those who break through to extraordinary success and those who stay stuck. It isn't what most people actually think. It's not about having that perfect strategy, knowing the right people, even having enough capital. It's about the habits that are secretly holding you back. So today I'm going to share these 5 specific habits that used to keep me stuck. And out of these 5 habits, the 4th one probably hit you harder than you actually might think. The first habit is analysis paralysis trap. So let me ask you something. How many courses have you actually bought in the last year? How many business books are sitting on your shelf right now? How many podcasts do you have saved and actually listen to when you, let's say, have time? I was like the king of this. I used to have every single course, every single book, every resource I could actually, or you could actually imagine. And you know what I didn't really have was the results. Because here's what nobody actually tells you about knowledge. Information without implementation is just useless. It's dangerous. It is just information. And it creates this false sense of progress, this illusion that you're actually moving forward when in reality, you're just spinning your circles. And even Einstein said information without experience is just information, but information with experience is wisdom. So the answers that you're looking for is in the work that you're actually avoiding. And I remember when I was starting out creating my first video ads, I spent so much time learning about the process via courses, YouTube, and it got away of me actually doing the thing. And the first year I only launched a couple ads a week and I was barely breaking even. But my breakthrough came when I started just doubling my output with how many ads I was producing. And not because the courses were bad or not because I wasn't smart enough. It was because I was stuck in what we call the learning loop. You feel uncertain about something, so then you just seek more information, you stop doing the thing, where the actual information you're seeking is in the doing. And that new information makes you feel temporarily confident, but then you face real challenges and feel uncertain again, and that cycle just continues. I learned more from just creating ads than I did from actually learning how to create them. And here's the brutal truth. No amount of learning will make you ever feel like you're 100% ready. Habit number 2 is living in the past. Every single time I sat down with a new client who's feeling stuck, I hear the same thing. I've tried everything before and it didn't work. I'm not good at business. Maybe the market is just too saturated now. I missed the opportunity. But let me tell you something. These aren't observations. These are stories. And the stories that you've been telling yourself for so long, they feel like facts. And I remember sitting at my mum's house one day, looking at a bank account, wondering how am I going to afford this payroll next week, telling myself I'm just not cut out for this whole entrepreneur thing. And you know what the story was doing? It was just permitting me to stay small, to stay safe, to stay stuck. But here's what changed, and this is where everything changed for me. I realized that my past results had nothing to do with my future potential. Nothing at all. Like, think about this. Tesla was built by someone who had no experience in cars. Airbnb was built or created by 2 guys who had never worked in hospitality. Your past is not indicative of your future unless you actually choose to live there. That's what I learned. Number 3, the perfectionism prison. Now, this one is personal because when I was building my first successful company, I spent 2 years trying to perfect my product. 2 years, like trying to perfect it to make sure it was amazing before I brought it to market. And looking back now, it's almost embarrassing because you know what happened? After 6 months, after launch, we changed the product anyway based on customers' feedback. That's what perfectionism does. It tricks you into thinking that everything you need to be perfect before you can start. But let me be very clear. Perfectionism isn't about high standards. It's just about fear. The fear of judgment, the fear of failure, the fear of not being good enough. And I see this all the time in the clients that I coach. People say they don't want to launch their business, but they're still tweaking their website. And after 6 months, they're revising their offer for like the 47th time. They're waiting for that perfect moment to launch. But here's the reality. I need you to understand. The market doesn't reward perfection. It actually rewards action. When we're scaling Cure Skincare, we launched it with a product that was maybe like 80% perfect. But you know what? That 80% perfect enabled us to generate millions of dollars in revenue, which gave us the resources to invest into a better product. The next habit is the comparison trap. You open up Instagram and I guarantee you'll see someone is younger than you that making more money, someone with overnight success, someone that's showing their perfect business metrics, and then makes you feel like you're falling behind, doesn't it? I need you to understand something. That 20-year-old millionaire, they're not showing you their profit, they're showing their revenue. And that overnight success, they're not showing you the decade of failures. You know, I recently did $1 million in a day, but it took me 17 years to get there. And those perfect metrics they're showing you is their debt. Like, I remember obsessing over my competitors, what they were doing, tracking their every single move, like analyzing every single strategy. And then you know what happened? I completely lost sight of my own vision. I started copying their strategy, their marketing activities, their pricing, their everything. And our growth actually slowed down. And here's why. Because when you're busy looking at someone else's path, you can't see your own. And that's the main reason. Now, the last habit you need to break is relying on motivation. Now, relying on motivation to get things done is one of the biggest traps for entrepreneurs. And I see it all the time in the coaching clients. Like, here's the thing. Motivation is fleeting. It's like a spark. It feels great when it's there, but it doesn't last. And if you're waiting for motivation to strike before you act, you'll spend most of your time waiting and not actually working. And this is why motivation fails you. Motivation is often tied to how you feel. In that moment, you might feel motivated after watching a great inspirational video, or maybe this video, a success story, or attending a seminar. But when that excitement fades away, the unglamorous work needs to get done, and motivation is nowhere to be found. And I've been there. When I first started out, I would make grand plans on feeling inspired, but as soon as things got tough or a campaign flopped, I had to fix an issue, I would lose steam and start telling myself, maybe tomorrow, maybe I feel like I'm ready tomorrow, maybe I'll turn to next week, next month. And the solution is discipline over motivation. That's what separates successful entrepreneurs from everyone else. Discipline is doing the work even when you don't feel like doing it. It's showing up day after day regardless of your mood. And here's how I replaced my reliance on motivation with discipline. I created non-negotiable habits. I developed daily habits, rituals that became non-negotiable, no matter how I felt, including waking up at 5 a.m., journaling, exercising, deep work, reviewing priorities, whatever it might be. These habits created momentum, which then made it easier to keep going during those tough days. The second thing I did is use systems to automate action. I built systems that made me thinking that an action automatic. For example, I used time blocking to schedule my most important tasks during my peak energy hours. I know exactly what I need to work on and when, so that's no room for procrastination or waiting for that feeling ready. And third thing I would do was commit to the process of not feeling, because I stopped asking myself how I felt like working and started focusing on the process. For example, when I was building Secure Skincare, I committed to just creating and testing 5 new ads every week, no matter what. Some weeks I felt inspired, some weeks I didn't, but it didn't work anyway. Over time, that consistency paid off in a massive way. Here's some practical tips to stop relying on motivation. Number one, just set clear priorities. Decide on what your top 3 tasks are for the day, the night before. And when you wake up, you already know what to focus on, and you eliminate that decision fatigue. Second thing is to track small wins. Keep a progress journal where you write down at least one thing that you accomplished each day or each week. Seeing your progress builds confidence and then keeps some momentum moving forward for positive feedback loop. And third thing is surround yourself with accountability. Share your goals with a mentor or a coach or accountability partner, because knowing someone else is counting on you adds this external pressure to actually follow through. And when you have that, it creates a sense of motivation artificially. And the fourth thing is embrace the 2-minute rule. If a task feels daunting, I commit to working it just for 2 minutes. And often getting started is the hardest part. And once you begin, it's just easier to keep going. You kind of get lost in the work. It's more that resistance at the start that's the problem. And the fifth thing I do is I reward discipline. Celebrate when you stick to your commitments. It could be as simple as like taking a walk or watching an episode of your favorite show, treating yourself to a nice meal, whatever it might be. But the positive reinforcement helps you solidify that habit. And discipline is really a superpower. And when you stop relying on motivation and start building discipline, you unlock this superpower. You become someone who takes consistent action regardless of the circumstances. And that's how you create extraordinary results. Not by waiting to feel motivated, but by showing up and actually doing the work every single day. And that discipline allowed me to scale Cure Skincare to 50 million in just 3 years. That's what helped me to generate $1 million in a single day. And that's what will allow you to achieve your goals if you commit to building discipline. So after all that, here's what I need you to understand. These habits, they're not your fault. Like, we all have them. They're a natural result of our programming, our past experiences, and our fears. These are the puzzles we need to solve in order to build the success that we want. But they are your responsibility. Nobody's coming to break these habits for you, but everyone goes them. It's a level playing field. Nobody's going to push you out of your comfort zone. Nobody's going to force you to actually take action. This is your game to play. And I can tell you from personal experience, from building multiple 8-figure brands and helping thousands of entrepreneurs break through these exact same habits, the moment you decide to break free from these patterns, it almost changes everything in the moment. So here's what I want you to do right now. Identify which of these habits is holding you back the most. Commit to breaking them over the next 30 days. Take one specific action today, not tomorrow, not next week, but actually today. Because here is the truth. On the other side of all these habits is everything you've always dreamt of. And the business growth that you want is there. The impact you want to make is there. The freedom you're after is all there. But first, you need to make a choice. And what you have to understand is that avoiding certain habits is good and will give you an advantage over 9% of your competition. Just by avoiding these things, you won't grow. You need to only avoid old and bad habits at the same time implement new strategies to help you actually grow. So to find out the 6 biggest secrets you need to implement to get rich, click on the video below.